What up, people? Welcome to Fathead TV. I'm your host, Cash Money, and we're going to bring you the latest in news, interviews, and music videos. Welcome back, people. I am your host, Cash Money, and we are here at Fathead TV. Man, we got another hot interview, people. The most known, always grown, Mr. AirBNB himself, billionaire boy, Kiee Gipson. What up, Kiee? How we doing, man?
What's up with the cast, man? I'm doing good.
Man, I'm good, man. Look. Man, that last interview we did, man, that jump was off the chain, man.
Yeah, it was good.
That jump was off the chain, man. Look, man, these people, they liked the info you gave them.
Yeah.
It helped them out, man. Look, I see you, man. You hot on TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube. You hot everywhere, man. Look, man, you over there like lava dog.
Look, I try to stay on every platform. I try to do as much as I can, except Twitter. Twitter, I can't do Twitter too much. Yeah.
Twitter?
It's just too much. It's just too much. And then, I don't know. I just feel like, with Facebook, you got Facebook that got everything involved. You could do the whole post. You could do a picture. You could do a text.
Yeah, but hey, man, it's hot. I ain't gonna lie. It's hot on Twitter.
Yeah, I know it's a lot of people on Twitter. I probably end up got to get on it. Maybe when I get some people in place to get on Twitter for me or something like that. But right now, nah, I don't see it.
Okay. Well, man, look, we're going to go ahead and get right into it, man. Kiee, man. I know, man, all the people, they've been wondering, man, look, let's get a little background info on, man, Kiee, man. Where did he come from, man? Where did he come from? What, et cetera. Where did he grow up at, man? How did the little Kiee come up, man, to the big Kiee we got today right now, man?
Okay. Well, actually, born and raised in Memphis, Tennessee area. I came from, my middle school was American Way.
Okay.
I went to American Way, came to Overton High. My mama transferred me to like the area of Overton. We stayed in the same area, which was Parkway Village.
Okay.
Yeah,
good.
my mama actually stayed in the area and everything like that. But she transferred me over to Overton High. And I mean, pretty much from there, like I wasn't all that good when it came to like academics and everything like that. I played sports.
Okay.
Any sports you can name. I played football, basketball, baseball. Now, basketball had issues. I really felt like somebody didn't like me inside the school like that. But pretty much every sport, I pretty much tried to have my hands on. And within school, I just did what I can to get by.
Okay.
Like the grade point average that we needed to be in sports was a 2.5 GPA.
Okay.
So I was that kid like, all right, as long as I get that 2.5 GPA, I'm good.
Right.
But yeah, that's pretty much where I was born and raised in high school, middle school I came from.
Okay. Well, one of the questions I know most people probably want to know, man, what motivated you to be the entrepreneur you are today, man?
Yeah, so I feel like what really motivated me to actually be an entrepreneur is that I feel like in school I didn't really have too many, if this makes sense, shine spots, things I was very, very good at.
Okay.
You know what I mean? Wasn't good academically, and at sports I was average player. You know what I mean? So there was no shine on me. You know what I mean? There was no light on me. I felt like, and I feel like everybody wants a certain type of light shine on them, especially if they're in the industry that they love.
Yeah, you understand. Yeah.
But I felt like I didn't have that going through school academically, and I knew that I had like a drive towards something. So when I left high school, like I said, I wasn't good academically. So what happened was I left out of school. The only option I really had was the Army, because the only other option I had was the Army because like I couldn't go to a college. I didn't even apply for any colleges. And as they go by, as you go by the stand, it's really embarrassing when you go by you got the graduation. You got everybody, they showing the numbers and everything like that, and you just go by,
I know. Believe me, I understand. So-and-so got 1 million.
Yeah, exactly. You like I gotta come behind them. But so I felt like it was an area for me. You know what I mean?
Right.
And once I left high school and I only had a choice of the Army, most people didn't notice, but I took the ASVAB probably about 3 times. I took the ASVAB back and forth 3 times. I'm like, that was the only thing I felt like that would have got me, my mom, really made my mom and my family proud. Cause I'm like, I wasn't doing nothing really significant then, you know what I mean? I would have just been working. You know, my mom would have been happy with me for being a worker, but she would have been even more proud of me as an Army person. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, I ended up passing the ASVAB for my first time, and I just made the decision from there. No, that's what happened. Yeah, I ended up meeting Sherman. Somebody ended up getting in contact with my mom, and they heard like I had like a mouthpiece. I could talk. You know what I mean? And Sherman was like, "Hey, get him up in here." Soon as that happened, they got me in the room. They showed me the numbers. You know, they didn't tell me what position it was for, anything like that. They was just like, it's a lot of money in it. You know what I mean?
Okay.
It has potential to make, you know how somebody hits you, hey, you got the potential to make $200,000, you know? Like, so if I get in the room, he showed me the numbers and everything like that. And then he breaks down like, I'm going to be a salesman. The only thing is I'm going to be commission-based only. You know, that started my entrepreneurial career, really. That right there started my entrepreneurial career.
Dig that.
Simply because soon as I got on, well, let me go ahead and say this. Once they showed me the numbers and everything, he told me I was going to be a sales position. I was only going to go off commission based only. And at that point in time, like I said, I had just passed the ASVAB, but I was a lifeguard getting paid $12 an hour.
Oh, you a lifeguard too, man?
Yeah, I was lifeguard for probably about 4 years.
Lives, man.
Yeah, I saved a couple lives. But yeah, shout out to the people lives I saved. You know, but okay, so I was lifeguard getting paid $12 an hour, and to most people that sound like somewhat of a lot. But when you're not getting that much hours, and my paycheck every 2 weeks was probably like $180, it's not worth it, you know. And I had a lot of time on my hand at that point in time too. That's what was so crazy. So I had the availability to be able to sell and do lifeguard on the weekend. Okay, so this is what happened. I got on as a salesperson. I'm like, I know I can do this job, you know. And our whole job was to go knock on doors daily, you know, knock on each other's doors and sell them roofs. And at the time, I was 18 years old. So many of people, when I go knock on a roof, you know, like I had a time where I knocked on a lady roof. I knocked on a lady door, and I came to the door, knocked on the door, boom, boom, boom. She answered the door. She's like, hey, you know, and I was about to get her to go ahead and give her my pitch on, you know, the roof. She stopped me and said, hold on, I got you. She called her son from the back, and she was like, somebody here at the door for you. You know what I'm saying? She called her son at the door. Yeah, she thought I was there for her son, but I was there for her. Yeah, so a lot of people run into that. But the whole thing is, it gave me like this whole like mindset of, first of all, I'm on my own, because I was an entrepreneur. You know, I was commission based only. It was only based off my hustle. You know, it wasn't hourly or anything like that. And I broke through within the first month, I had my first $1,200 check. That's what changed my look. Sherman know that too. Money. I had my first $1,200 check. And
shout out to Sherman, man.
Yeah, shout out to Sherman.
Q3 Contractors.
Changed my whole life.
Yeah.
But and actually that's why Sherman hit me out a lot. But yeah. So after I got my first $1,200 check, that changed my whole mindset, because I'm like, first of all, I've been getting paid for a whole month, $180 each week. Every 2 weeks. So first of all, $180 plus $180 every 2 weeks, that's like $400-500. You know what I mean? Yeah. I just made $1,200. I made it in a month. It took me a month to understand it. I didn't understand roofing at first. That was the problem. That's what most people go wrong at. They'll see something and it'll look like a lot, and they're like, nah, I don't want to deal with it. You know what I mean? But overall, once you start learning it, I don't know. You just end up getting, I don't know. You end up knowing it, you know. And within a month,
that's doing anything. You got to teach yourself.
Because when I first saw the information, like they put us on videos. When I first got there, he had his whole staff. They put a video on there trying to explain us exactly what the roofs is, the parts and everything. And I'm like, well, shit, damn. This a lot. Like this is I was thinking to myself, I don't think I can do all this, because look, when you go into a regular job, lifeguarding, they sit right there. Now, I do go through a training for lifeguarding, of course, but the training is like a week. But after that, they tell you your job position. That's what you do. You know what I mean? I sit and I watch as a lifeguard. You know what I mean? Nobody, it's just a totally different ball game. You know what I mean? I had to come in, learn something, use that skill that I learned, and push to get commissions. You know what I mean? Not all the time I got a paycheck. You know what I mean? All the time I got a paycheck. But I quit my job when I first made that $1,200.
Yeah, because you know that hustle. When you see that,
I knew I could do it then. That's what it was. I knew I could do it then.
Yeah.
And I said, if I can make $1,200, I ain't wasting my time on them hours right now.
No, man, you looking like $1,200, man. $1,200, man. How old were you then?
18.
$1,200.
That's what I said. That's what I said. I ain't never had no $1,200.
That's gonna motivate anybody at, man, 18 years old. Like, man, forget that water, dog.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get on these roofs, man.
Exactly. And then if I took into consideration that if I put the amount of hours I was putting in for lifeguarding, even though I wasn't putting in that much hours, I was saying to myself, well, damn, if I'm going out, if I'm working for 6 hours. Or I think I was working 4 hours. Yeah, if I'm working 4 hours for the weekend, you know, as lifeguarding Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and I'm working 4 hours for these days, that's like 12 hours put in. If I put in them same 12 hours into selling roofs, my money would be totally different. You know what I mean?
You are correct. Okay.
Yeah.
So another thing, Kiee, what the folk want to know, man, they say, why would you want to get your business known on social media? Because I see you on social media everywhere, man. Like I said, you might well call you the social media king around this mug, man. For real, man.
Yeah.
So, man, why would they want their business known on social media?
Well, I feel like the main reason right now why you would want to get your business known on social media is because the way the world is going, and we're in 2022 right now.
Right.
But as things are advancing, you see that it's advancing towards technology more than ever, right?
Right.
And because technology is advancing, that makes it more to where we are our personal brand, right? Because I'm on this camera right now, and all these cameras are looking, and because you know, I would say I push myself out on social media. You know what I mean? But the whole point is that we are our own personal brand. So we are able to carry it's a big difference between me having I can have a whole public building right now out here in Memphis, Tennessee, right? And nobody can know of, right? But they know of me, right? Because I'm my own personal brand. And it just becomes a big difference when people see that you are building your value. It's a big difference between, if this makes sense, building your business value and your personal value, you know, because when you build your personal value, which that's what I feel like most people are doing when they get onto social media, is you're building your value. So it's a very big difference when it comes to just building your value, because I'm trying to figure out the best way to explain it. Because when you build your value, you start to become a money magnet. Right? You start to become, because one thing that I always say is money follows attention. You give people attention, the money is on the way, right? You let them know I'm here. I'm out here. I'm Kiee. I do this, whatever industry I'm in. That is what's going to be put out. And people are going to, see, the thing is, just like McDonald's, Coca-Cola, all these big companies, one thing they do good at is putting it in your face at all times.
Yeah, you are correct.
Ads, TV, television, commercials, ads on YouTube, whatever you name it, they stay in your face, because it's like, as humans, we naturally forget about things. Things become irrelevant real quick. You know what I mean?
Microwave.
Yeah, things become irrelevant real quick.
Yes.
So it's like, in order, I hate to say that, in order to stay relevant, in order to keep business flowing, and especially if you want your business, when we're talking about blowing up, if you have a local business right now and you're the local person in your town, right? You bash in your local town. Everybody knows you in your local town, right?
Right.
But the question is, who knows you in the world, right? How do people know you in the world? You might be that person locally. Everybody knows you about in the city, but I'm that person that looks at it like optimistic. So you good locally. Everybody knows you locally. You making probably about $200,000 locally. But I'm that person like, okay, you making $200,000 locally. How can we get to $400,000?
Potentially, like what's
how can we get to something bigger? And when you think about that, my solution to that is social media, because the fact that these platforms, and then it's crazy than ever now. You know, TikTok, Facebook Reels, all these platforms that are able for you to be able to blow your business up in a short amount of time.
Touching multiple people.
Yeah, like I tell people, you always if you have a skilled product, anything that you want to be able to post on social media, you are always one video away from being successful. You're always one video away from your name ringing bells. You're always one video away from you making your first money online. You always one video away, one video away from what needs to be done. Whatever you want inside your industry. If I'm in the roofing industry, I was in the roofing industry, right? I was a salesperson. The thing I would do very different now, that if I came back to the sales industry, I was a very good salesperson. You know what I mean? But the thing I would do different if I came back to sales is I would let everybody, people in Memphis wouldn't just know about Kiee. Yeah, people in Memphis wouldn't just know about Kiee. People in LA got to know about Kiee. People in Australia got to know about Kiee. Because the simple fact that if Kiee goes anywhere, if I go to Australia, can I build a roofing company down in Australia with just the base off people knowing me and I know that I have that company?
Yeah, so you can go anywhere and start
you getting calls off the line. Everybody wants to, even if you're not even the best, even if you don't install the best roof, even if you don't install the best roofs in your city or wherever you in, if you put your name out there, you know what I mean? Like McDonald's don't got the best burgers. They don't got the best, you know what I mean? But McDonald's is everywhere. They defeating the real estate game, the marketing game, both of those. Real estate game because they everywhere. They 5 minutes away from everywhere. They in your face. And then when it comes to ads and everything like that, you seeing McDonald's burgers, everything, all that. You know what I mean?
I don't even eat McDonald's, man.
Yeah, I know what you mean, but
you know what the funny thing is you say about that, man?
Yeah.
My daughter has never had McDonald's in her life.
For real?
She's 6, she's going on 7. And she would say, Daddy, she has seen so many McDonald's commercials. She thinks she's went to McDonald's. I was like, Kiee, you've never been to McDonald's before, so and you never going to McDonald's. And she was like,
that's good. She ain't gonna never go to McDonald's.
It's like so. But you are correct. There's man, like they putting so much out there.
Yeah,
it made my daughter think she's been to McDonald's already.
Exactly. So like if somebody had a product and it was real bad, right? I hate to say that, but if I'm a marketing company, right? Let's say I started a marketing company and somebody had a bad product on something, right?
Right.
Well, as a marketing company, I'm looking like, okay, well, you have a bad product, all right? But at the same time, we're the marketing company. We would just speed this up being a bad product. You know what I mean? You would still get sales and you would still explode. But it's up to you on how you gonna add value to your product. You know what I mean? But the whole point is just to, if you really want to be able to blow your business up, and I'm talking about numbers, I'm talking about 80% by 80% high numbers.
Right.
You want to be dealing with the internet because people, you want the whole world to know you. LeBron James has attention. Money follows attention, like I just got done saying. LeBron James has as much attention as possible, right? Therefore, they got to pay him for wherever he go. He has built his own value, right? So no longer nobody can just call. I can't just call LeBron James right now and say, hey, LeBron, I want you to just pull up at me at this spot right here. You know what I mean? Now, if I ain't talking money, if I ain't talking no sense of value given to him, it's over. You know what I mean? Because he didn't built his value status. You know what I mean? He's built
correct,
that.
yeah.
But he's built that value by also getting attention on him. You know what I mean? Yes. I hate to say it because he's a basketball player. So naturally, if he got good skills, then attention is going to be on him.
Yeah, but that goes for like a lot of people.
Yeah.
Yeah, because like I said, whether people who are best in the business, in that genre, whatever they're doing and stuff like that. Like I said, I understand what you're saying as far as social media because it's people I'm like, okay.
But you gotta see though, Cass, is that the social media though is what grabs it and makes it attention. You know what I mean? He's the basketball player, he's a star basketball player. But what would LeBron James? Who would know about LeBron James without the social media?
You are correct, because like I said, because he was on social media, like when internet was like really getting out there.
Yeah.
They were putting him on in the magazines and on the websites and on YouTube and stuff like that.
And now people like, oh, he big, he big. You know,
so he's known in China, like in Europe in general, he's known everywhere. He's like they said, the next Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
So that's good. So one thing Kiee, people have been getting at you about, I know you've been hitting them with the business credit. Credit, man, getting funded. Kiee, what would be the fastest way to get funded? Being an entrepreneur, man.
Okay. Well, I feel like the fastest way to get funded right now, I'm gonna just give like a little credit hack on this, because like I'm gonna first start off by saying like when I first started with my first LLC, I had no type of clue on. I'll put it like this. I had to get my LLC to be an inspector, which I was an inspector for a little minute. I was inspector for 2 years. Yeah, I was an insurance inspector for 2 years. So hopping on to that company, I had to get an LLC. They was like, hey, you 1099, you self-employed, so you have to get a LLC and able to work for us. I'm like, okay, cool. At that time, I didn't understand what it was. I just literally researched the LLC, called the first person that had, that was on Google, and I filed my LLC, and I just showed them documents. That was it. I'm like, okay, cool. I didn't even know I had established business, really. You know what I mean? So,
really?
So it was kind of crazy because I wish I had knew all those things. I would have started a business bank account because I would have been better off now.
Right.
But if I had to give somebody a major credit hack that helps out with you getting funded, I talk about a lot on building your business profile. And the whole thing of building your business profile is that you want to make sure if you're a newcomer going in business, you want to make sure that you first start your LLC. And the most important things I talk about starting your LLC is make sure everything is right inside of it, and by right inside of it, I mean you got to have an actual business email, you got to have an actual business toll line, and you also have to have a actual actual location or a virtual address on it.
So if people don't know about toll line, what's a toll line?
No, toll free number.
I know, because I knew what you were talking about.
Yeah, okay. So basically, you ever wonder when you call into like an actual company and it has that little ring? Please wait for a moment, and it starts ringing, and you'll have like a little background music and everything going on. Yeah, that's a business line. That's what we call a toll line. So a toll free number or extension or business extension, whatever you want to call it. But So what happens, the reason why I say that is because you'll have some companies, like when you try to apply for like any type of business credit cards, loans, a car in your name, anything like that, sometimes they'll have systems to where when you push your LLC information through, they'll have a system that looks at everything before they even, before they look at it themselves.
Really?
Yeah. So if your information is not correct, like if they see that you have a personal number tied to your LLC, or if you have, I know addresses really get people. So if you have like your personal address, let's say I live with my mom, that was the first mistake I had made with my LLC. I was staying with my mom, and I put my mom address. No, I wasn't staying with my mom. I was staying in my own apartment. I had put my apartment number, my apartment address on my LLC.
Right.
I didn't realize at first, like this is the reason probably why I was getting denied for a lot of things, because like I said, they have systems that look and make sure and see, hey, listen, is this an actual business location? And if it's not, they just send it back as a denial.
So, question, if somebody already put the wrong address or whatever, how do you change? Or can you change it?
Yeah, you can change it. So you can change it with your annual report. Now, I'm not sure if you'll have to wait a year to be able to change the annual report. I think you'll be able to change it like automatically. You should be able to go in, look up annual report, type in your business, and be able to change it around. But I think it costs like $15, something like that, to be able to do it. But yeah, you will be able to do that. You know what I mean? I just suggest people to just go find, if you don't have like a physical location, definitely go get a virtual address.
Oh, then you can go ahead and, well, just whenever you finna talk to the people, just let me know. I'll switch cameras on.
Okay, cool. But I didn't go.
No, go ahead.
Okay, so now that they had that in order, I had to make sure I say that first, because some people some people watch this video and then do what I say, and then they'll come back and say, well, it didn't go through. You know what I mean? So I had to make sure I get that in order first. Right. Once you have that in order, you have your LLC in order. You want to go ahead and go get your. You want to make sure you have your EIN number that is tied to your LLC.
Remember what you're saying about the EIN number.
Okay.
And please, I know you trip me out every time. People, do not pay for an EIN number.
Yes, do not pay for the EIN number.
You be tripping me out.
Because many people, when I that's something I did. That's something I did. I could have spent $800 on my LLC, but I spent 308 on my first LLC. But I could have spent $800 if I really just went. If I had the $800, I would have spent it actually. But I don't have. I was only prepared to spend like $300 because if they told me I was going to have to be able to pay. Yeah. So at that time, I was just saying no to all the things. What happens is, if you don't go to the Secretary of State and file your LLC, you just have to look up Secretary of State. Right. What happens is you'll go through like a third party. And when you go through a third party, they'll have you file your LLC and they'll hit you with a whole bunch of other things. You know what I mean? Yeah. Because that's just how I understand that system now, how you sell. But they'll hit you with a whole bunch of other things. Like, hey, listen, you have your LLC filed now. The next thing you will need is your EIN number. Your EIN number will take at least 2 weeks to get here. But we can get your EIN today for $100. Yes. Yeah. They hit you with it. Like I said, I messed up on that my first time getting my LLC.
Seriously, man?
Yeah, I ended up paying for it. And then somebody ended up telling me, it was the inspection company. I called them. I told them to pay for my EIN. It was like, you pay for EIN? You could have just went to IRS.gov.
Yeah, then you get it instantly once you fill out everything.
Yeah, see, I didn't know that at first. So
that's the game, man. Cold-blooded.
Yep, but you get that EIN number, all right? That's going to be what's tied to your LLC. After that, you want to then go register for a Dun & Bradstreet number. These are people you're going to have to build a relationship with. Dun & Bradstreet is the, Dun & Bradstreet is the reporting bureau for business credit. Okay, so mainly when people go out and get credit cards, they want to go get business credit cards, a loan in their name, or even a car. Majority of these people look at Dun & Bradstreet score. They look at two scores really mainly. That's why I'm gonna really hop on this credit hack real quick. They look at two scores. So they look at your Dun & Bradstreet score, and they look at your small business administration score, or is it small business service? I might have that wrong, but they look at those two scores, right?
Gotcha.
And that small business administration score, that's what bigger, higher people go and look at, like the SBA. When you like, I'm not talking about the PPP loan.
No, I know.
But when you naturally applying for the SBA, they look at that. Small business administration score. You know what I mean? So that's why I talk about a lot. People should make sure on exactly what type of credit cards, their business credit cards they're getting, because if you get the ones that are most important, the ones that are reporting to Dun & Bradstreet and the ones that are reporting to the Small Business Administration, then you're pretty much good. You know, you only have your business Equifax left and your business experience, which those aren't hard to build personally to me. You know what I mean? Okay. But to go ahead and break down this credit hack, once you go ahead and register for your Dun & Bradstreet number, which that is free too, you want to go ahead and head on over and get what we call Net 30 accounts, right? These are starter accounts for when you first start your business off. These are going to be what you need to start building your business profile, right? Right. So these Net 30 accounts I give on my YouTube channel. I give them out all through my TikTok. You guys go look at that content. I give those 5 Net 30 accounts out all the time. And I also have the 5 Net 30. I have 14. I have 14 Net 30 accounts inside my Rich Secrets ebook. And it's going to be 14 Net 30 accounts inside the ebook with over 40 trade lines within inside to be able to help your business grow from start to finish. Okay, but you want to go ahead and get those 5 Net 30 accounts. The next thing you want to go ahead and do, this is what most people don't know, and this is the credit hard part. Once you get the 5 Net 30 accounts, you want to go ahead and go on over to what we call Tier 2 cards, right? So this is what we consider Tier 1, the starter cards, which are the 5 Net 30 accounts, right? Yeah. Now I'm gonna make sure everybody knows this. If you already have fair personal credit, you can skip past the 5 Net 30 accounts. All right. So if you have fair personal credit, you can skip past the 5 Net 30 accounts. If you have somewhat of challenging credit, then you want to go ahead and start with the 5 Net 30 accounts. Yeah. Okay. But let's just say that you have challenging credit for right now. Okay, right. Which majority do. So if you have challenging credit, after you get these 5 Net 30 accounts, you want to go ahead and bounce on over to the Tier 2 cards, which are store cards and gas cards. Oh. All you want to do is literally get 2 to 4 gas and store cards, all right? You can either get the BP Solutions gas card, the Shell Solutions gas card, or if you want store cards, Best Buy, Macy's, just 4. Okay, if you want to get 2, you're in the door. If you want to get more than 2, if you want to get 4, then you setting yourself up for greatness. Okay. So, but after you get these, this is the main point, and people can do this within literally 30 to 60 days. Be able to do this. So, after you get the 2 gas cards or 4 gas cards, whatever you end up deciding to do, you can literally go ahead over and go to a credit union. These are and they have to know that it's best to just use a credit union. Now, the best credit union to use is Navy Federal. They gonna help you out regardless on what if you got challenging credit. Yes, if you have challenging credit and you are with Navy Federal, they say basically if you have a 500 credit score, that you're basically in the door. Okay, so like challenging. If you have very challenging credit, Navy Federal is somebody that really helps you out. So that's who I'm going to advise people to just go to.
Navy Federal.
Navy Federal. So and like I said, these are going to be the people that gives you the best credit limits, even though you don't have the perfect credit score or even fair credit score. Gotcha. So, all right. Once you do that, like I said, once you get your store cards, gas cards, you want to go ahead and go on over to Navy Federal. You want to start a business bank account with Navy Federal. Okay. All right. Once you do that, you want to just make sure you have a couple of transactions going through the account. You don't have to, like I said, you don't have to have full business credit established. Right now, you just have 5 net 30 accounts reporting and 4 we just gotta say 4 store and gas cards. All right. Now, mind you, this is what most people don't realize about it, is that these right here are not actual cards. They're not actual what we consider business cards. The 5 net 30 accounts are just basically websites that are saying they have products on them. Mm-hmm. Hey, if you buy our products, we'll report to the credit bureaus. Right. And the store cards are just saying, hey, listen, if you come buy from us, we'll give you, and report. Yeah. But these are not actual credit cards. Now we get into the actual business credit cards.
The actual credit cards.
So now once you start that bank account, you want to get some transactions going through that bank account, and then you want to go ahead and apply for a business credit card with Navy Federal. And usually I know the limits range from, when it comes to business credit with Navy Federal, ranges from around like $3,000 all the way up to probably about $8,000 on what they give you like a starter credit union line.
That's good.
I've seen people get $10,000 before, like from Navy Federal, but I'm just trying to keep it on the average right now.
That's good when you're trying to build.
Yeah, last time we did a little interview, I just cut you off, but last time we did a little interview, and when we did the last interview on the wholesaling, on a whole life insurance policy, you had so many folks, like when I only gave 2 percentages on, what you can gain, but I didn't name the third percentage, like, I didn't give all 3 percentages. So everybody was like, some people was like, oh no, they was like, I said 12%, and they was like, no, it's not 12%, it's 8%, it's 6%. You wrong. I'm like, I gave y'all a different one.
Yeah,
that's what I said.
Yeah. Anyway. Yeah, but were you done with that one?
Yeah, Okay. So that's basically the fastest way to be able to get funding. You have other people now. If I had to advise somebody that didn't have business credit, now this is gonna be a good one too. If you didn't have business credit established at all, right? Mm-hmm. Let's say you just started your business and you're 3 months, you're a new business and you're 3 months down the line, new, fresh in business, and you've had you have to have a business bank account going. And for those of you who don't know how to file a business bank account, you literally just, once you file your LLC, they're gonna come with something called articles of organization, and you take those to the bank, and they literally do. It's just like a personal account, right? But once you have that, you want to have transactions, like I said, going through. What I tell people is, first of all, make sure that you don't have any of your personal transactions going through that account. Make sure it's just strictly business, because the people I'm about to really lead y'all to, what they're going to do is they're going to send, when you send your business information, because they're not looking at business credit, they got to look harder on something else, which is that's going to be your income, right? So they don't base it off your business credit, they base it off your income. So what happens is they're going to look at your income, and the reason why I say don't run the personal transactions through, they're going to have those underwriters looking at it, and the underwriters are going to go through it and say, well, damn, it looks like Kiee been at the liquor store. He been at Walmart. None of these really look like that he's spending so many transactions going through. Ain't no way that these are actual business transactions, right? And that's going to put you at risk on them even trying to give you the loan. Right? Yeah, it's gonna put you at risk. So that's why I say just make sure you have business transactions going through.
Basically, like far as paper, like You know, like
What do you mean?
Like like business paper. You know, like buying paper for the office and
Yeah,
stuff like that.
yeah. You going to have to buy for
printers and computers.
Advertisement, anything that's dealing with your business, go out and spend it on that account. If you feel like you don't have too much stuff to buy business on, then what I say is a little trick is get somebody to train. We got Zelle, we got Cash App, we got all that right now. So get a friend or something like that, transfer some money through your account, because at the end of the day, they're gonna look at the overall balance on everything that was going through the account.
Okay.
Yeah, they're gonna look at everything that's going through the account. So if I had $18,000 go through my account within a whole month, I might not have $18,000 in my account right now.
Right.
But the trick I'm talking about, I'll probably send my friend back and forth $500, you know what I mean? And that's transactions going through the account. I'm not saying send the same 500, but you just want to have more transactions going on.
Yeah, more transactions going through. Okay.
But after that, you're going to have people out here. Now, one person I do know that I will give is Rapid Finance. Rapid Finance is somebody that does business loans for startup businesses. And like I said, these are people that look at strictly just your income, right? They look at your income, they see how long your business has been established, and make sure you establish business. After that, you're able to get funded within literally like 24 to 78 hours.
That's cool. That's good. That's good.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I know we get all the glitz and the glamour, and people like, man, Kiee with the money, but I know some people, and I want to know, what are some of the trials and tribulations, some of the pitfalls you've encountered being an entrepreneur?
Okay. I mean, I feel like I've encountered a lot of pitfalls. I feel like the thing is about an entrepreneur is that you got to always learn to like get back up, or like stay positive, or stay like on that mode of like solving problems, like continuously solving problems. Like we have problems as humans come up all the time. You know what I mean?
Right.
And you have business problems that come on. But if you're that person that kind of looks at the problem and then you're kind of like, just reflecting on, man, I got this problem going on, man, this is destroying me, this and that, then I just feel like, you're never going to end up working towards nothing. You know what I mean? Right. So I feel like I've had a lot of pitfalls and downfalls that come within business, but I have to make sure I keep my mind straight and make sure I keep on going. You know what I mean? I have to make sure that no matter what hits me, it can't break me. You know what I mean? I have to keep on. No matter what, I'm going to keep on going. That's the main mentality that I feel like I have as an entrepreneur, because I've had so many things and I've lost so much money. It's like, now I'm all in. Like, you know what I mean?
Could you go into depth, like what mistakes have you, what's some of the mistakes have you made?
I give you a mistake. Just recently on my YouTube, I just felt comfortable on talking about this. Right. I lost my Airbnb. I lost one of my Airbnbs.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, so my second Airbnb that I had ended up getting into, I lost it. But the only reason why I lost it is because I didn't know what I know now. Right. And that was, I didn't analyze that deal at all. I didn't analyze that location before I even put it right there, right? If I would have analyzed that deal before I had put that actual location right there, I would have saw that I was putting myself in competition. I was putting myself in competition. How was I putting myself in competition? Because I didn't do my research and I didn't see, hey, I'm about to get ready to place this studio apartment right here in North Dallas area, and I didn't even do any research on, hey, how many studio apartments are actually within this area out on Airbnb within this location area, right? Because that's going to be what I'm competing with, right? I tell people now that it's best, that's the most important thing to do, is locate your profit, how much you're going to be making nightly, and make sure you have the right location, because that's going to be everything where you place your location at. And I'll just give you a better example on what I mean, because I placed my Airbnb, I placed a studio apartment out in North Dallas area where there was over 120 other studio apartments within the area. Okay. So you have to think about that. Like I tell people, Airbnb is a search engine. So when somebody goes in and they look up on Airbnb and they get all their information, and they like, hey, listen, I'm staying with 2 guests. Airbnb is then going to search for a 2-bedroom apartment. Okay. Right. And when not a 2-bedroom apartment, they're going to search for a 1-bedroom or 2-bedroom apartment, right? Right. Now, when that happens, the thing about that is, if I'm a newcomer, first of all, on Airbnb, if I just started my Airbnb account, I'm going all the way down to the list. Okay?
Yeah.
As a newcomer on Airbnb, I'm going all the way, especially if I'm the 121 studio. All right?
Yeah.
Because best believe, that's what most people think, that you can just go in an Airbnb now, especially nowadays. It used to be to where you can, like 4 or 5 years ago, you used to be able to get an Airbnb. If it's nice looking inside, outside, you good. Airbnb would mainly do the rest of the work for you. But now you got so many people entering into Airbnb, it's starting to be a competition. You have to analyze that deal. You know what I mean? So
Right.
if I'm able to now what I look at is, okay, what's the sweet spot? Okay. You know, what are the areas? First of all, what type of house? What is the location, and what type of housing do I need to put within this location? What is the all right? I give a better example. Within this location area, right?
Right.
If first of all, I'm gonna look up studio apartments. I'm gonna look up 2-bedroom condos and apartments, and then I'm gonna look up single family homes, and then I'm gonna look up multifamily homes. All right, I'm gonna look up all 4 of those within this one location area.
Okay.
All right, and I'm gonna find what I consider as the sweet spot. And the sweet spot is mainly where you see, like I said, it's a low number of housing within that area, or a low number of that certain type of housing, right? So if I look up studio apartments within this area, it may be 120 of them within this area, right? Mm-hmm. Okay, I'll be in competition if I place a studio apartment in this area. Then I'll go down and I'll look at 2-bedroom, 2-bath condos or apartments, right? I see that, right? They say that they have over 100 studios. I'm still putting myself in competition. But then when I look up single family homes within the same location area, if they only have 67 houses on Airbnb within this location area, mm-hmm. then I'm about to get ready to plant a single family home mm-hmm. right in that area, right?
Right.
That's going to give me higher chances of getting booked. That's going to, and the higher chances of me getting booked, the more I get booked, the more Airbnb starts to rise me up. You know what I mean? As I get reviews and etc.
Okay, that's cool. Yeah.
Yeah, so that was one of my major, I feel like, downfalls. And that was something I wasn't comfortable on talking about at first, but I had to question myself, like, you know, this is what happened to you, know, and you claim that this is me talking to myself, you know, you claim that you tell everybody the good and the bad, but right now you're not telling people, you know, what's going on. And I felt like, all right, you can either hold this, and because the feeling was, I felt embarrassed. I felt like I didn't want the whole world to see, because my name is getting out there. Yeah. I didn't want the whole world to know Kiee failed. You know what I mean? Yeah. I didn't want that to happen. That's why I felt in my mind. But I was like, either I can take that as that, or either I can take it as an experience for everybody else. Yes. You know, and let everybody else learn from my mistakes on it.
Yeah, because as a businessman, as an entrepreneur, you're going to help people on not making that mistake, because they can sit back and say, okay, bam, Kiee went through this situation. Mm-hmm. I know now I'm not going to make that same mistake. Yep. So you're going to help thousands of people not make that same mistake. So if you do make mistakes, that'll help people who's coming behind you, man, make the right the right choice instead of making the mistake you made previously.
Yeah, and so, I also want them to know that you go make mistakes. You know, like you said, the downfall, it's regular. It's something that's gonna be regular. Like I said, you just got to be that person that makes sure you stay in tune on, you know, where you want to go. You know what I mean? Because they say the thing is like you got like a straight line. You got your goal, right? And you got a straight line to your goal. Right. But the world got so many distractions that you can't stay focused on that goal that you're trying to head to. You know, but ultimately, if you spend all your energy and you focus your energy on that goal, you're going to just gravitate towards it, what you're going to see. You see, one thing, I got Albert Einstein in my house, right?
Yeah, I saw that.
So with Albert Einstein, I'm not too fascinated that he was a scientist or anything like that. Mm-hmm. That's not what like intrigued me or anything. What intrigued me about him is that he was a thing. He used his mind, like nobody else used their mind. You know what I mean? That's why he was called one of the smartest men in the world, because nobody really realized that this man was just on a train of thinking. You know what I mean? He was thinking how can I solve the problem? You know what I mean? On whatever he wanted to accomplish, he was always thinking, because there was a lot of people that was down him and going against what he was saying. And he could have took what they said and put it in his mind and said, well, damn. This ain't possible.
He said, everybody have haters, man, even Albert Einstein.
Yeah, he could have accepted that. You know what I'm saying? He could have accepted that, but he decided to say, hey, listen, because one thing you're going to always recognize is we have control of our thoughts. Like, we have control of my response on anything. So, like, he took that as, hey, I'm going to show you what's possible, right? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to solve this problem. And what happened was he went on so many thinking, he spent his energy, focus on headed towards that problem. And as you can see, he saw a majority of them. You know what I mean?
Yes, he's in control of his own reality.
Yeah, exactly, so, exactly. Yeah. I feel like he said that. I feel like he said that or something.
No, because I said that all the time. Because I said when people, like I said, you have haters and stuff like that. Like, no, I'm not gonna let somebody be in control of my reality.
Yeah.
I pick and choose. I am in control of what's going to happen.
Yeah.
So it's like basically like you can put this much energy in it, or you cannot. You know what I mean?
Yeah. See, you can put you saying like put energy on what they saying, or you can put energy on. Yeah. Exactly. Yes, that's the best way to say it.
So in my reality, I'm like, the hell with you jokers.
Yeah. I'm doing me. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Basically, like, man, but that's life. Like I said, you're gonna have haters, man. And man, but like I was saying, if you what's dude named Pippin? He's like, man, if you got some extra haters, bring them my way. He said, I need some.
I need some more haters. I think my haters starting to like me. I think
so I mean, it's all good, man. But I got something for you. I know you said something about the whole life insurance. I know we touched on that on the last interview, and when the folk were trying to come at you about the 12 and the 6 and all that old whoop-de-whoop stuff, man. But could you give me some more info about the whole life insurance thing?
Yeah, I'll give you a little bit more detail. And so like I said, what most folks didn't understand the first time, I'll break it down with the rich people. What most people don't understand is, like, majority of rich people, first of all, put their stuff in. They try to put it in passive things, right? That to where they're not doing a single thing and it's still growing, right?
Right.
So one of those things, and there's many other things, of course, to invest into, but I'm just naming one of those things, is a whole life insurance policy. What they do is, like I said, they fund this policy. They go out and get this policy. They fund that policy. Once they fund that policy is growing at least 6, 8, or 12%. Depending on whoever you find within the industry. Some people are able to get up to 12% if you find the right person. So you're getting those percentages, right? And it is growing at at 6 or 8%, whatever it's growing at.
Right.
The good thing about this policy, and the major thing, the whole crazy part about the policy is that you're just simply able to go out and invest with this policy. Okay. That's the main thing that the rich people take advantage of, right? Because the simple fact, the bank is going to take advantage of you, right?
Okay.
They tell you, like I said, the whole life insurance policy, it's the whole thing is jacked up because, see, the bank just doesn't tell you that they have a whole life insurance policy, right? But that's what they have. They have a whole life insurance policy. They just market it to you as a free checkings account, right? Yes.
Cool. Seriously?
They market it to you as a free checkings account and say, hey, listen, if you deposit into this account, then, it's free. You can use our bank, you can use our resources, et cetera, right?
Right.
And as you deposit into that account, the bank is able to go withdraw out probably 9 times as much as the money you put within that account. It's only simply because what I'm saying right now, they're putting it into a whole life insurance policy. You are really putting it into the whole life insurance policy. But like I said, they have the ownership of the whole life insurance policy.
That's cool.
Yeah, so it's a lot of more details into there on exactly how the bank does it. But like I said, they just market it to us as a free checkers account. So we don't really know. We're not really knowledgeable. We just go and start a bank account and start depositing our money into it. But what the rich people say is, hey, listen, the bank is not giving me anything on my money. Right? They're not giving me any benefits on me putting my money inside. I'm not earning anything at all. Why don't I just become my own bank? And how do you become your own bank? You get a whole life insurance policy on yourself. And then you are your own bank and you start to deposit into your own bank. But the only difference is with you depositing into your own bank is it's growing, right? It's growing in appreciation, right?
Okay.
And then the thing is, see, not only is it growing in appreciation, that's one benefit to it. The second benefit is that you're able to go out and pull a loan out on yourself. I'm not putting a loan out from the bank. and I'm not paying the bank back with interest. Okay, so like that whole part is just screwed up. Period. That I can go out. I have to go out and get a house loan from the bank, right? $200,000, and I'm paying interest to the bank. That's really what they're earning. That's really because they don't really get anything from the loan, and you really paying the loan back because that comes from like the Federal Reserve, I think. But they get money off the interest. So whatever we pay in interest, that's what the bank gets.
And what's so crazy about the housing things, like far as you saying when you buy a home and then the interest, is like when people say you're gonna pay on this house for so long before you pay the interest off, before you actually start paying the house off. I'm like,
some people get screwed over. Yeah, some people like sometimes the bank get the interest up front. So like that's really in a bad situation. You know what I mean? But the whole point is that you feeding your money to somebody else, and you also getting that you're getting a loan out from them instead of yourself and paying yourself back with interest. Like you're paying them interest when you could have been gaining yourself you could have been gaining yourself interest. And what I mean by that is, let's take an example, right? Instead of me going to get that $200,000 loan out from the bank, right? Instead of me going to get it out from the bank, I would go, and this is just somebody that's able to do that. Like I said, right? With a whole life insurance policy, I don't want everybody to think you got to be rich or you got to have a lot of money. Okay. A person can take a simple whole life insurance policy and make sure that they make deposits. Like I said, it's still going to be growing at appreciation, still going to be growing at a certain percentage.
So like how much money you think a person can just start one?
To start one, I would suggest somebody probably have somewhere near the range of probably, I would say $20,000, because like the agent, you want the agent to take you serious too. Okay. So the person who's gonna be doing the policy for you, they got to make money off the policy too, because they don't make that much off the policy because it's a whole life insurance policy. You have more benefits than anybody. But like I said, $20,000, $30,000, or if you are like have a connection with somebody that's already a whole life insurance policy person, then $10,000 maybe. But yeah, you want to start off with something like that. That way they know you're serious. You know what I mean? And they actually want to go ahead and do business with you, because they the whole life insurance policy person, they're not easy to find. You know what I mean? Right. So yeah, definitely that.
That's cool. That's cool, man. You have anything else about whole life insurance?
Oh yeah, I forgot. I was talking about that. Yeah, let me go ahead and go on to that. So I go ahead and explain that with paying the bank back interest, right?
Yeah.
So instead of that, let's say we're going to pull a loan out on ourselves for this house, right?
Okay, yeah.
And let's say we want to make this, I'm an investor. I want to make this house an investment property. And I pull out from myself, right? Whole life insurance, I pull out a loan for myself, right? So you can pull out a loan against your policy, even at what is growing to be, right? So I pull out this $200,000 loan on myself for my whole life insurance policy, and I buy this house. First of all, you're not going to be taxed for it. You're not going to be taxed anything for the house, purchasing the house at all, because you bought it with your whole life insurance policy. On top of that, I made an investment property, so I'm earning from this property. Let's say if I'm doing Airbnb, right? Because I'm in Airbnb. If I'm doing Airbnb and I'm making at least $1,500 a month in profit, well, what I can do is I can be that smart person and say, hey, listen, I'm not paying the bank back, right? I would have been paying the bank back for this house. I don't know. I would have been paying the bank back probably $1,800 a month or something like that for this house, right?
Right.
Or whatever it was going to be. And I'm making profit of $1,500 right now. Okay. I could be the person to say, hey, listen, well, I can deposit this whole $1,500, not use it at all, like not use that $1,500 at all, and just let it literally deposit into my whole life insurance policy. And I'm gaining interest on my money then. And when I end up paying that loan off, I'll have more money in there than when I started.
That's cool.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's the whole goal of the whole thing. Like, it's just smarter investing with it. It's way smarter investing. You'll end up coming out with $400. You would rather have at the end of the paying the bank back all that interest money. You would rather have $400,000 in your account than less money in your account. That makes sense.
No, it makes perfect sense. You sitting back. You paying yourself back, and you
gaining interest on it.
You gaining interest, and in the same token, so you winning.
Yeah, exactly.
You winning,
and that works for anything, not just houses. It works for cars. It works for cars. It works for any type of simple thing you think of. You can go out and literally get jewelry. You can go out and get jewelry, right? And you can do that same thing, like I said, with jewelry. Like now, jewelry is not an investment, but that's just something that you saying. Hey, listen, if I'm finna to go spend $500 on this chain, right? Why don't I spend $500 from it from my whole life insurance policy and then pay the $500 back, or pay more? Make payments on it and let it grow. You know what I mean? Because it's gonna be more than what you paid
like,
for.
what kind of payments you can make? Like, man, I'm just paying $100 or something, whatever.
Now, I'm talking
what are you saying when you're making payments? Like, what you mean?
Making payments towards it. So you're making payments towards it. It's your account, right?
Uh-huh.
So I mean, nothing's negative going to happen to you at all. But it's your money and everything like that. But
that's what's growing in
interest.
That's why I was going to ask you. Like, you borrow, you take a loan out for like you got $200,000 in the bank, and you take a $3,000 loan out. Mm-hmm. And you looking like, man, look, you forget to pay your loan.
Back.
Yeah.
Well, you don't have a time date on it. That's the thing. You don't have a schedule on it. Yeah, it's your account. It's your bank. Your bank. Your whole life. Yeah.
Snap! I didn't know that.
Yeah, you don't have a time span. See, the bank give you a time span.
Ain't no late payments on your account.
No, ain't no late payments. Ain't no payments at all.
That's cold.
But see, the bank gonna give you time. They gonna give you a time span and a date to make sure you pay it.
Yeah. Okay.
So yeah.
Damn. Check that. Okay. And before we end this interview, what advice you like to give to the up-and-coming entrepreneur in 2022?
All right. I think the most advice I would be able to give anybody that wants to become an entrepreneur is to take action on whatever you are thinking about, right? You want to make sure that you take action and don't let nobody stop you, right? You got to know that, first of all, you have to come in your industry, whatever you are in, whatever skill, talent that you have, first of all, you have to show it to the world. Make sure you show it to the world. And you have to come out to the world unapologetic, okay? You have to come out as you and not try to see whatever, because one thing is, what happens is when you start to put yourself out there and you start to actually expose, you're going to have a lot of people that are coming at you. And you're going to notice as you have more and more people coming at you, you're going to learn that you got to be that person that reflects all those bad things off of you. You got to really learn to be I can't think. I'm trying to think of the word, like to where nothing can break you.
Because you're gonna like you said, like we were saying at first, far as haters, you're gonna have those people who doubters are gonna be coming at you, because you're gonna have people pushing love towards you, but you're gonna have people who's gonna be pushing hate towards you also. Mm-hmm. But you got to. I guess you saying far as you got to have that. I guess was that.
Well, I would say like. Ultimately, if you're trying to become an entrepreneur, the main thing is resilience. All right, yes. Like resilience, like so anything in the field of business. Like we just got done saying, you having your ups and downs, but that person that is resilient and focused, like I said, you got that straight line, you got your goal, and you got your straight line to that goal. That person that's spending all their energy and gravitating towards their goal, not letting any of these distractions distract them.
Right.
That real resilient person, that's going to be the person that shines, and that's going to be the person that ultimately gets what they want. Because the person that's resilient, they ain't going to stop until they get what they want.
Don't get distracted.
Yeah.
Don't get distracted. It's great, man. Haters try to distract you. Don't get distracted.
Yeah.
Always stay focused. Stay focused. Anything else you would like to, give, information? Books?
Be great.
Books.
Be great. Yes. So I have ebooks out. I name my bestsellers right now, which is Rich Secrets. Rich Secrets is out, like what I talked about. This is going to be 40 trade lines inside this ebook that's going to help your business from start to finish, to be able to get up to $20,000 to $30,000 loans for your business. So I have that ebook inside. It's also going to tell you exactly. See, before I give them the trade lines inside that book, I kind of got to give them the concept. And the concept is what rich people really do with their money. They try to gain leverage to be able to, and use that leverage to create income, and they get the leverage by using other people's money, which is what I show with inside the ebook. Okay, so that ebook is out, and also I have Cash Cow out. Cash Cow is going to be able to show you exactly how to pull money from your social media. So a lot of people have that talent, that skill, that trade that they really want to be able to push out there, or maybe it's a creator that's already pushing their industry, their skill or trade it is out there. They're just wondering, hey, listen, how do I create income from this? What I have right now with me, right? Okay. And that book is going to be able to take you, like I said, from start to finish. It's also going to give you a challenge with inside that's going to be able to help you out with your content major. So yes, I have that ebook out, and last of all, I have Dominate the Market, which is my Airbnb ebook, and it teaches you exactly how I started and how I came from Airbnb, everything that I've learned from Airbnb. It teaches you how to go and get apartment buildings without owning them at all, and then it talks about how to keep your Airbnb. All right, so how to keep it stable, up and running, and making sure you have your Airbnb for years.
Okay, bet that. Okay, you have your social media?
Huh?
Social media.
Yes, definitely go add me on TikTok, YouTube, and Facebook at Kiee Gipson. Okay, y'all make sure y'all go add me.
Kiee Gipson. So,
Kiee Gipson, #BillionBoy.
Billionaire boy. Don't get it twisted, man. Mr. Airbnb, a.k.a. Billionaire boy. And man, that's all we have, man. My guy Kiee Gipson. Y'all check this man out. This man got plenty of info. Plenty of info. He's gonna make you a millionaire.
Yes.
Don't get it twisted. Don't miss out on this train. It's gonna leave you. It's gonna leave you. And I'm Cash Money, and we are out on Fathead TV. Peace out. I am Cash Money, and that's the news from Fathead TV. We will be bringing you the latest and greatest of news, music videos, and interviews. Be on the lookout for much more. Peace out.